the right. Fake. Here's a look. A fly pass in the end zone. And touchdown, Oklahoma. A lot of this. And he's run out of the body. And he's sacked. He is sacked. Sooner fans, about 30,000 in attendance, cheering their team as Oklahoma is the 89th Rose Bowl game champions.
At the 9-yard line to the 10, and a 51-yard kick to the 20, to the 25, 30. Oh, what a great run to the 40. He can go all the way. 50.
Kick. Oh, it's blocked. Straight block. Big straight blocked it into the end zone. And the Sooners are going to recover it for a touchdown. Short drop. Looks down the middle. Bob's a long pass downfield. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the Sooners are Big 12 champions. Tremendous.
Win, that says a lot. It says a lot about your toughness, your pride, all of that. To come in here and play like you did and win this football game. Again, they are a good football team. We know that. We said we wanted to be a better road team. Well, this is a good start to that. Jumping in on the road, going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and playing Alabama is a dang good start. It'll test your character. And we showed a lot of character tonight.
Welcome, everybody, to the program. Dean Blevins with Bob Stoops, and a classic battle of two programs, Bob, that are just tradition-rich. The setting was wonderful, as you talked about already, and you get out of there with a 2013 win, and your team played well.
Really exciting. Again, you don't see a lot of people raising their hand to go down and play Alabama and Tuscaloosa in an out-of-conference game. Great atmosphere pulling our buses in. I think all our fans appreciated it. Great fans down in Alabama. Great atmosphere, a great football environment, a very physical, hard-fought game by both teams, and you know, felt fortunate that we were able to win and win in a good way.
Let's cut to the chase. We're going to see some of the plays a little bit later, the entire game, but two plays really seemed to turn the game around. You had a 4th and 10 from the 30-yard line of your own, and Alabama had come back within 3 points. You call a fake punt that works, and then you throw a touchdown on the next play. Why in the world would you call a fake punt?
Well, it was, well, really, I don't know that, it was a part of the game that sure was significant. We led the entire game. I think that's true that we did lead. There's Michael Thompson catching it and running upfield for the first down, but we did lead the entire game. We are ahead 10 points with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. So, you know, so we were in pretty good shape. That play, I felt at the time, they had just pulled within 3. Felt the momentum really switching. I could feel their crowd getting roared up. And they were really disregarding our eligible wing who's able to catch a pass. And they were disregarding them, blitzing and rushing the punter off the corner in really a reckless fashion. And we felt if they were going to do that, then they should have to pay for it. And if we're able to execute this, we're going to have a big play. And so I told Coach Venables, let's have our fake on, and if they show it again, we're going to run it. And sure enough, they did, and it worked. Fortunately.
Well, it did work, but you got to admit, Blake Ferguson made the throw. He's not Johnny Unitas, and you didn't have Jerry Rice out there. Do you ever in those cases say, man, if that doesn't work, we're only 3 up, they get it, and we're in big trouble?
Well, that's the other side of it, and that's the other side that you know, everybody be talking about what a bum I am today, and that's the way it goes. And I'm willing sometimes to be criticized, to do something that I feel is necessary to win, and have confidence in our players to execute it. I felt Blake, we've worked it in practice, and he throws more balls than you realize, and I knew Michael could catch it. So anyway, we're going to have Blake throwing a lot of balls anymore. People want to do some of these kind of things to rush punts. We'll have him able to throw the ball as well as our quarterbacks.
And Bob, there aren't a lot of comparisons that we bring up with you and Barry Switzer, but I've got to tell you that coming down here today, I was thinking that you're more of a risk taker, it seems, than Coach Switzer was, but his team always believed that it could make the big play, and it's gotten to where your guys have to believe, because it's happened time and time again, that they can pull off plays like that.
Well, I believe they do. They have confidence that we'll make plays that matter, and I don't ever mind being compared to Coach Switzer, that's for sure. So hopefully we can continue to create more and make those big plays when they matter.
And it was an outstanding ball game. As Bob said, an unbelievable atmosphere. We will go down to Tuscaloosa for the Sooners and the Crimson Tide when we come back.
Sooner Football 2003, brought to you by Ford and your Oklahoma Ford dealers, Coca-Cola, National American Insurance, Conoco, The Daily Oklahoman, OG&E, Love's Travel Stops and Country Stores, Joe Cooper Ford, and by Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance.
Told me right off the jump that they were going to try to go deep downfield, and I tried to get a good release and got a nice one, and the ball was placed nice, and I just made a nice grab.
Coach Mike Stoops has been, big emphasis this year has been on up front, getting pressure on him, and I think we worked really hard in the offseason, been working really hard in practice on getting pressure on the quarterback, and really been focusing on it, and it kind of paid off tonight.
Oh, it feels great being able to come into Alabama Stadium and leave home with a win. Two schools with great tradition, and coming in with unfinished business, and we finished.
You can't even explain it. Last year at this time, I was thinking about what I was going to do, in my career. And this year, I'm thinking about, we just beat Alabama, so it's exciting, and it's a lot better feeling than last year.
And Jason White, the quarterback, will be here with us a little bit later, I believe, Bob. That is an unbelievable story for him, a second blown-out knee, and here he is, and you heard the comment.
There's not many people asking about his knees anymore after 2 games, and you watch what he does against an excellent Alabama team, and threw the ball wonderfully. Had several drops. His numbers could even have been better. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 260 yards. Just an excellent day away from home with a hostile crowd, silent count, I believe, the entire night. Yeah. So really operated well.
Bob, you got off to a great start. Was that something that, you always want to get off to a great start, but in that environment, is that something you especially stressed?
Sure you do. You want to quiet the crowd, and Antonio Perkins on the very first snap has the nerve to jump in front and makes a great interception and gives us great field position to start. And then our offense drives a little bit. We end up getting a field goal. We missed some opportunities in the first quarter to really get a good lead, 14 or 21 points, and we end up just with 6 points. We had a fumble we could have picked up and ran in. They have a drop punt we could have capitalized on. We have a drop pass in the end zone. We had a lot that we really missed on in the first quarter that made the game tighter.
And it was a great first quarter nonetheless. And let's go down to Tuscaloosa Saturday night. And, Bob, you see the crowd rolling in here, and crimson and white everywhere. And it ended up being just a perfect night and setting for football. Weather cooperated.
Great college game day atmosphere. I think everyone that was down there really felt that. The streets, the town, the campus area, in the stadium, really was great.
I don't know about Lee Corso being escorted in.
Oh, he's good. Lee's a wonderful guy. They do a great job. They have a great show, and he has a job to do, whether it's picking us or not.
Well, he's got to pick you now. He picks you to win a national championship. All right, Trey DiCarlo only had one little slip-up all night long, but that one's through the end zone, and things started out well. Bob, here's your first play you talked about.
They come right up to the line and watch Antonio. They go play action, trying an out route, and this is just a great interception. Look at that. He just gets a great jump on the ball, great hands to pick it off, stay in bounds. Look at that. That's a heck of a play to start the game. Got the ball. That's a big play right off the bat. Here's a good run right off the bat. We ran the ball in spots pretty good. At other times, they loaded up and stopped us, but we had our spots where we did pretty well. There's a drop, which Brandon Jones rarely does that. We had a few drops early. I don't know if guys were just a little nervous. There's Bubba Moses with the catch. Those are sprint draw, which they play well.
Kewan Jones got a lot of action. Is that in part because Ronaldo Works might have been a little slowed?
Yeah, I just missed a little bit of practice, and Coach Gundy just felt like Kewan was maybe a little more prepared going into the game. There's a deflection there on 3rd down, forces a field goal, and it's a good, 34-yard field goal, and very solid, a good way to start, up 3 points. And you always want to get touchdowns with that kind of field position, and especially away from home, but start off with the field goal.
2:32 gone in the first quarter, and Sooners on top, and DiCarlo once again through the end zone, and Alabama has it 1st and 10. This will be another 3 and out, Bob.
Defense started off well. They were, you're going to see here, we're going to have some other opportunities. Good run defense right there. Teddy Lehman with the stop. Here's a quick pass. That's defended well. It gets 1 yard with Jonathan Jackson, Brandon Everidge with the tackle. Here we come with a blitz, force a fumble, and it bounces right back to him, and then it bounces back to him again. He dropped it twice, And that's what you mean, like you had a chance for something. Great pressure by Dan Cody, then Jonathan Jackson rips it out, and he does a nice job scrambling to get the ball back. Thought we had another big break.
Sooners get the punt from the 47.
Great field position, though. Start off with another good run there in this series. A good bounce play outside.
Boy, J.D. Reynolds really blocked.
Good screen there to Juwan Rankins. J.D. does an excellent job. There's a pickup on 3rd and short for a first down. Good movement. Another, that ball was just a little bit high. And that was open. That would have been a big gainer if we have that ball down just a half a foot maybe.
Big play, 13 yards.
Another good run. Our run game again at times was awfully good. It's kind of one of those factors in the game. Sometimes they get you, sometimes you get them, and there's a spot where we got them a little bit.
Sooners on the move, 1st and 10 from the 28.
There's one where they get us, just a couple of yards. Good pickup there. Nice running by Brandon Jones. Good strong running after the catch.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
We thought it was a touchdown. Mark normally is going to catch that ball. Hit him in the hands. Really a perfectly thrown ball by Jason. And Mark just can't quite get it. And so we have to settle for a field goal.
Trey DiCarlo, 40 yards, 7-10 gone off the clock, and the Sooners on top 6-0.
You need to get touchdowns in those instances, though, where you get your hands on the ball. Here we don't do a very good job when our run forces. Our linebacker up in front was supposed to keep the ball inside, let it bounce on him, and create a few yards. See there, Lance Mitchell making the tackle with his helmet off.
Boy, big collisions in
this
the game.
was a physical game, I tell you. There's another opportunity. Look at Brandon Shelby, has the ball ready to run with it and drops it, and they recover it. So another instance where we thought we had an opportunity to get a big play and get the ball back. Here they hit the fullback out of the backfield. Another counter play, really supported well. Dante Nicholson with the tackle. They do a nice job just sticking the ball in there. It's tight coverage. They just executed it well, made a good catch. They got good players. Brody Coyle's an excellent quarterback guy. We recruited awfully hard, and you go up and down the board. Their line's big, physical, and a good back, and Shad Williams got great speed. So it was a good matchup. You watch it, the line play and backers and everybody. Very physical game the entire night.
Lance Mitchell, 10 tackles. Looked to have an outstanding game.
He did. There's Tommy Harris with a nice sack, big play. Watch him right here get off the ball, penetrate, beat everybody, and get back there on the quarterback before he can even look downfield.
Well, they may double team him after that a little bit more. Oklahoma leading after one quarter, 6-0. Stay with us. Second quarter, 1st and 10, 17 for Alabama, 6-0. Sooners have the lead at this point.
Physical run, trying to run it up inside. I guess we get about 3 or so, which isn't all bad. Here's a boot pass that they have a blitz on, a good call, and defended well on their part. There's a 3rd down that we're trying to pick it up, and we end up just a couple of yards short. They, again, good tackling on their part, closed on the ball well.
This is a 42-yard punt.
Great coverage there. There's Mark Bradley, not only made some key catches and big plays for us, makes a great play here on our punt cover team. Coming down is, right, perfect timing, makes a good tackle, good play by Mark. And Blake hits a nice ball, hung the ball up high, 40-some yards. He had an excellent average and really hit the ball well.
Now it's Alabama's ball, 1st and 10, 33.
There they pumped the ball a couple of times and completed, but it's out of bounds. He just forced them wide throw there a little bit. Jonathan Jackson with excellent pressure right there, forces a ball to be thrown away.
3rd and 10, it'll be a 3-and-out.
Good pressure right there, forces them to pull the ball down, duck up, and throw a short pass that's covered well. So I guess they punt it to us, and then we must go 3 and out, and we're punting it back to them.
This ends up being a long one, 59 yards after it's not fielded, and then it will go down to the Alabama 23 where the Tide will take over.
Good tackle there by Lance Mitchell on a counter play. Now they throw a short route there. Derek Strait with the wrap up. There they are going downfield again. And well covered, thrown out of bounds.
Pretty good pressure by Dusty Dvorak.
We had good pressure really most of the night. You see the quarterback on the ground a bunch during the day, as well as I think we had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. The guys did a nice job there. They do a nice job finding the seam. Come back with the counter play, and there's Lance Mitchell again.
Mitchell actually knocked Shad Williams out of the game for the first half.
There's
or Everidge maybe knocked him out.
Brandon Everidge knocks him out right here on the screen pass. First, it's Antonio Perkins who needs to make a play right there, and then Brandon Everidge hits him dead square and finishes him off. Good play. Nice pressure by Jonathan Jackson, forces him to step up, and it's just one of these cases. The quarterback's a good athlete. We were in coverage, forced him to pull the ball down, but he found the seam and picked up the first down. Let him mush us up in there for a few. There's a good tackle by Teddy Lehman. 3rd down. They run a shovel, and Dusty Dvorak makes an excellent play right there. Or is that Corey Klein? I guess Corey Klein is right there for it, and Jonathan Jackson. Really a smart play by KK.
And Brian Bostic is on, Bob, and this is a career long. He'll knock it in from 44 yards. Took it 4 minutes and 55 seconds, and so it's 6-3, and the Sooners will have it back on their 19-yard line.
Try an outside running play that doesn't get a whole lot. Here we come with the screen. Nice job by Jason faking one way, comes back to Mark Bradley on the screen the other side. Mark does an excellent job catching it and running with it upfield. Jason pump it one way, come back, sets it up. Mark Clayton and Kelvin Shashan out there with a good block, and nice job by Mark getting all he can out of it.
Bob, you've got several good size, big, good, strong receivers.
We do. And we come back and we're going to fake the same play. Watch it to the top of the screen, fake the same play, and they all bite on it and send Mark right in behind them. So instead of Mark blocking that time, he took off deep, and Jason throws a perfect ball.
46-yarder.
Drops it right over the shoulder, right where it should be. Makes it an easy catch for Mark. Look at all the time we have, too. Great protection on this play. Our offensive line really gave Jason a perfect pocket to sit there and throw the ball.
So it's 13-3. Alabama is stopped. The Sooners are stopped. Alabama gets it back for the last drive of the first half.
Start their 2-minute series with the draw play and it's tackled, which is good. Inbounds, keeps the clock ticking. You don't want them to be able to catch it and get out of bounds like they did right there. Good tackle there by Antonio Perkins. Again, the clock is ticking. The ball's inbounds. They're going to force them to use their timeout.
What's the defensive philosophy here versus normal philosophy, say 8 minutes to go in the second?
Well, we want to be somewhat, not conservative, but be in some good, safe zones. Or in the one case there, we had a zone blitz on where we blitz and still play zones. So just try and mix it up on them. See Jonathan Jackson chasing him here. And Larry Burdine ends up sacking him. Good coverage. He can know where to throw the football. And Jonathan Jackson hems him in and sends him to his buddy Larry for the sack.
13-3, the Sooners on top. Dan Cody, Jason White, 2 of the stars for the Sooners last night, standing by. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. As we do every time this week, we are joined by a couple of Sooner players, and Bob, 2 Oklahoma kids, young men with us.
Yes, they are. They don't want to be called kids for sure. I guarantee you they're not. But guys that have made some big plays in just 2 games for us. Each have been given game balls in each of our first 2 games. But we have a senior captain, Jason White, right out of Tuttle, Oklahoma, and a junior defensive end right out of Ada, Oklahoma, Dan Cody. So, Jason, let's start with you. I was noticing on the incompletion to Mark Clayton early in the first quarter that he just over his fingertips. I don't know if anyone realizes what a quarterback goes through, but just as you're getting ready to throw the ball to Mark, I see a blitzer coming off the corner. It drills you right dead in the chest as you throw the football. Do you even see him in those cases, or how do you react in those kind of situations?
Well, I think that you know, when you're looking downfield, concentrating on receivers and, you know, trying to read the defense, you really don't, you know, pick up, you know, guys coming off the edge like that. It's tough. But in that case, you let the ball go and you just kind of go limp and, you know, take the hit.
Now, when you say go limp, and that is what quarterbacks do, once they throw it, you go limp because then you don't absorb as much of the impact. Is that right?
Right. You know, as soon as you go limp, you know, they hit you and you just kind of absorb it and, you know, you just fall down. So hopefully it ain't that bad.
Well, you've learned to go limp, and for the last time, hopefully, this is the knee question. Do you go limp with the knees? And you answered all the questions last night.
You know, the knees are great. I don't plan on going limp for the knees. So.
We just saw a great post pattern there to beat Brandon Jones there in the second half, Jason. Talk about, you know, that play and even the protection you had and how you delivered the ball.
Well, it was coming off a big special teams play, so, you know, we had the momentum at the time, and we took a downtown shot, and we had all the time in the world. The offensive line did a great job on the play and little play action, and, you know, BJ, you just throw the ball up and BJ go get it. So
what's your thought when you see BJ breaking open? How are you going to put the ball down there?
I'm going to throw it a long way, as you know, BJ's a long strider, and you know, it's hard to realize how fast he's going.
You talk to the people about how you put air under the ball, how you want to get it up so he can get underneath it.
Well, you know, you want to put it up in the air where he can run and adjust to the ball and run underneath it. You know, it's big for the receivers to have enough time to adjust to the ball. Instead of throwing a line shot, you got to give them a little time to go get it.
All right, Dan Cody, you got to appreciate the quarterbacks get the first attention. So now we go to defense. After the game last night, you and I were talking about the condition that your club is in, and you felt maybe that you had an advantage late in the ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're always talking about having big offensive tackles, you know, weigh 320, 330 pounds. But, you know, really I look at it as an advantage because you just got to wear them down. You know, being smaller in size, you know, weighing 250, 255. But Coach Schmidt gets us in such good shape. You know, the third, fourth quarter rolls around, especially early in the season when it's kind of warm and, you know, not everybody's in real good football shape. That's when you start to really create the pressure, just by wearing them down.
How was the atmosphere? How physical? How much fun?
Oh, it's great. You know, I was telling my parents after the game, I've never played against a team that had the character that they had. You know, after plays, you know, everybody's helping each other up, you know, patting us on the back and all that stuff. And, you know, those 2 premier programs, you know, the dynasties in Alabama and Oklahoma are second to none. And, you know, that's something that I'll never forget.
Dan, we seem to be, as you see right here, we're getting more pressure, and you've had just in 2 games a lot of pressure, several sacks. What do you think is helping us this year, maybe compared to maybe a year ago?
I think the biggest difference is just everybody being older, you know, being more mature, more comfortable out there. Because I think the more you play and the more the guys get out there, they develop more of a confidence, they're more comfortable, and they see things quicker, and everything just becomes more natural.
Jason, the atmosphere of a game like that, it could get a quarterback a little rattled, and the quarterback sets the tone so much. How were you feeling going out there trying to set the tone for this club in that atmosphere?
I was excited. You know, Tuscaloosa was a great place to play, and especially as a road game, and that's one thing we're trying to get better at is being a great road team. And you know, that's a great place to start with the fans they have. And you know, as a quarterback setting the tempo, you just want to go out and get your guys calmed down and, you know, play within their ability.
All right, I've got to ask you guys a question about Bob calling the fake punt. I mean, did it surprise you, and what does it make you feel from a confidence standpoint?
Oh, well, it shows the confidence he has in our defense, but it also, more than anything, shows the confidence he has in his special teams. You know, that's something we're always harping on and wanting to continue to get better at, and it just goes to show, you know, how it pays off. You know, in that situation, it really, you know, swung the momentum of the game in my eyes. You know, I think it's something that got everybody pumped back up. You know, everybody's starting to feel better about themselves and get a little bit more fired up and carry the momentum on to the rest of the game.
Your thoughts on it, and then you come out the next play and you go deep.
I think it was huge. It was a huge play in the game, and they fooled me. I didn't know what was going on. I was going to get on the phone, and the next thing I know, I see Michael Thompson run down the sideline. I didn't know what happened. So, but it's huge. You know, the next play, we had them on their heels, and we went, you know, a long shot down the field and scored.
I didn't ask Jason's permission to run it, so he was on the sideline getting some water. He didn't know what was going on.
And the phone call would have been upstairs to Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator.
And Coach Venables designed that earlier in the week, and but sure enough, it's not going to be called without me saying to call it. I'll guarantee you.
Jason, thanks. Outstanding start to this year. And Dan, it's always great to see you. All right,
guys.
stay with us. We'll go to third quarter action down in Tuscaloosa when we come back. You know, Bob, too many times we in the media emphasize the negative, and obviously kids like this and or young men like this and the ones you bring on every week are great examples of what student athletes are all about.
Sure they are. We have wonderful players, wonderful character guys, and these guys are great examples of our program and been great players for us. And that's what makes my job so fun, and all of us coaches, to be able to get with these guys every day, get out on the field, work with them, get in meetings and work with them. It's a lot of fun.
Critical time, because last year you jump in, I think 23-3 ahead, and they come running back and take the lead, and you've got to rally to win. Now you've got a lead, you're in pretty good shape. What do you tell the club?
Well, that's why we didn't want to be ahead 23-3. We're only ahead 13-3 to make it a little tighter to keep our focus. But no, we felt like we missed some opportunities that we could have had a stronger lead. But you know, we're playing well. Let's stick to what we're doing. You know, make sure in the second half we continue to again not have foolish penalties, take care of the football, play great defense, and let's make plays when we get an opportunity to make them, where we missed a few opportunities in the first half.
How do you call a game differently on a road in this type of environment versus at home?
Well, I don't know. I think all games you get a feel for what's happening, what you need to do to win. Calling that fake, I felt it was necessary at the time and I felt the opportunity for it to be successful was great. That hey, this is going to give us a big boost. And I ask our coaches too, calling offensive plays or defensive plays, to be aggressive. You know, when we're on the road, we're not going to sit here and tiptoe through Alabama and come out with a win. Let's go after it and make some plays to help define the game.
All right, let's go to third quarter action. Tuscaloosa, it's a dandy, and it will get only better as we move along. Kickoff goes to the Sooners.
We just, he had a nice kickoff there down in the corner that kind of bounced around, and Juwan really does a nice job getting about what he can from where the corner kick that the guy placed down there. Start off with the draw play that gets a little bit, not bad. They're kind of brought their safeties down and played the run pretty hard. Got a sprint out pass that's again well defended.
3rd and 7.
Trying to get a corner route, and again they're all over it. Jason throws it out of bounds. Really poor job again, you know, protecting the punt, and something I say we're going to have to continue to work at. It isn't all that difficult what they did. It's something we're very aware of and work every week, but obviously we're not getting it done, so something we'll just keep pushing for.
Momentum Alabama, Tide has it, 1st and 10, 44, 2nd and 10. And
Good
3rd and 6.
Steps up, and Derek Strait really has good coverage, but the receiver, I guess, just bobbled it, stepped out of bounds, makes a good catch. They were close to having a good play right there.
Punt,
Derek has to
12 yards.
Contest the ball a little bit right there.
Yeah, that was a correct call, a little bit of a bobble, and Sooners now have it back after the punt block at the 28.
Good first down pickup, picks up, I believe, 6 yards. You'll take that about every time on 1st and 10 if you could. There's Ronaldo sticking it up in there for a decent gain.
3rd and 3 and pick up the first. Bob, why so many short passes? Just because that's what they give you?
Well, as you say, like right here, we hit a lot of long ones too, Dean. You can't throw them all long. Once in a while you throw them short. Once in a while you throw them long. And
that's a great timing for that question.
Sometimes you run it and you get 2. Sometimes you run it and get 8. That's just the way. That's the game, you know. Great play there. Great pass. Jason could not have thrown that any better. And Mark Bradley runs a great route to get outside position, to get past the defender and make a great catch by Mark. Really proud of Mark Bradley. Made a bunch of good plays for us the other night. That was a big play. Unfortunately, on this drive, you see it right here. This is a 3rd down play, and we're going to miss an easy field goal. And this you can't have either. This is like a turnover. You know, Trey's better than that. He cannot on the road come in and miss an easy chip shot like that. See, this again is an opportunity for us to stretch the lead. We had a lot of plays where we weren't as good as we can be and made this game closer than it needed to be.
So Alabama takes it over, and they will take it down and score. 31-yard chip shot that Bob was mentioning.
You need to convert that. Again, they do a nice job executing their run and get a little seam. There's Dan Cody again chasing the quarterback. Their receiver breaks open. Had him covered for a while, but you know, he spun around, had some extra time, and the receiver breaks open. That's what happens. There's Dan again with great pressure, and of course rattles the quarterback. At least, you know, still makes a good play that way. And here we go on. There's a touchdown. They have a good route. We don't cover it very well. Our safety and corner got switched up on their positioning, and they get a good touchdown.
And this is the series of the fake punt. 13-10, Alabama momentum. Good return here, and the Sooners will have it at the 31-yard line.
Really good return. We get it out there past the 30. Now here we go with a trap draw that we execute very poorly.
2nd and 14. Crowd really a factor at this point. 3rd and 10.
There they have a blitz on. Jason steps away from it for a moment, and BJ almost makes a great catch and bobbles it, and he's out of bounds.
Play of the game.
Here we slip him out. You see Michael catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage and running down there, beating everybody for a 1st down and a big pickup, big play. You watch it here, they were blitzing off the corner, just totally disregarding our eligible receiver and Michael. Catch that ball, Michael. So he catches it. It's great to see Michael out there making plays again, and that was fun. I was smiling the whole way watching him run.
And perhaps the 2nd biggest or first biggest play of the game.
Watch the protection. Look at the pocket Jason has to sit there and wait for. BJ has a long route that he needs to run to get open. He executes it perfectly, and Jason throws a perfect ball. Good execution on offense when you have to have it. Watch it again. The blocking's really good. See the double teams, great protection, big pocket. Look at the nice spiral. Jason puts air under it and drops right over the shoulder of the defender right into BJ's hands. Momentum,
Oklahoma. Jason White has not been off on many deep balls this season.
No, he's throwing them really well, and Coach Long's doing a nice job picking and choosing when to go after them and mixing it up with our run game and short passes.
20-10, Alabama has it at the 21.
That was big to answer their touchdown, to come right back with that.
18-yarder.
Again, force him to step up in the coverage, but you know, he's a good athlete. He works it up in there and picks up some yards for him. Again, we allow the It's a basic counter play that we allowed to bounce outside and shouldn't have.
Pick up a 4.
Here's a good pressure by Jonathan Jackson, and he still completes it for a few yards. Here's a 4th and 4. We had a couple of mix-up on our substitutions, getting in our punt safe. Look at Brodney Jixon. There's another great pressure. We hit the quarterback, and he makes it by a nose of the ball. So just one of those things sometimes it happens. But we had a mix-up in our getting our punt safe situation. We had one guy was running off the field, didn't get off in time, and that's our fault as coaches. We need to drill that a little bit better, and we'll make sure that's straightened out from here on out. That shouldn't happen to us. Excellent play there by Dante Nicholson on 3rd down, and that very well, I don't know if they could have made the field goal or not. It would have been a long one, but still, this ensured the fact that they weren't going to get a field goal out of this, and that's a good, he has a great range to cover back there. Good play by Dante.
And the end of the 3rd, 20-10, back in a moment. Fourth quarter action, and Bob, you need to run some clock and make something happen here, correct?
Well, here we're up 10 points. They have us backed up on our own 5-yard line, and we're going to go on an excellent drive right here to come off of the end, come out of our own end zone from being backed up. You see really good efficiency. Jason Sharp taking what they're giving us, running the ball, throwing it. We're going to run the ball in this drive well. We already saw one good run. We're going to mix it up, and here's another good run, you know, when you have to have it. So anyway, you know, we're going to eat up about 6.5 minutes, I believe, off of the clock. We take the ball from our own 5-yard line, and we're going to almost get in scoring position with it, with excellent execution, away from home, silent count, no turnovers, no penalties. Very sharp, very good execution by offense. J.D. Reynolds there, excellent pass by Jason. Look at J.D. breaking tackles. J.D.'s a good athlete now. He gets the ball. He's got great hands. He can make people miss him or run over him. He does an excellent job outside of just blocking for us. You see us now, we're on their end of the field, got a pump and go, and BJ's usually going to make this play. You saw where they've missed a few in the game. We've missed our share too in this game, and you see BJ normally is going to catch that ball.
Bradley holds on to that. Sooners, no turnovers in this game. Almost a bobble there, but no turnovers.
Look at this, 13 plays, 61 yards, 6.5 minutes in the 4th quarter when you got to have it up 10. That's still, even though there's no points, we needed one more first down before we could have got a field goal, I think, and so still an excellent drive.
2nd and 4.
Pretty good coverage on the last one, 2 guys out there. Here they run a little pick play and just kind of rub us off that back. Good play on their part and get a first down. Forcing him to scramble again, dumps it off, and at least he's out of his rhythm, couldn't throw it downfield. Here they come with the draw. Again, good defense. The clock is ticking here, which is good. We come with the blitz. We lose contain on him, which isn't good. He drops the ball. And again, it goes back to him. He got a couple of drops where he got a little luck going with him, too. The ball went back to him 2 or 3 times during this game. But you see, he's an athletic quarterback. He's out there. Still good coverage where he's not able to throw it. There's Dan Cody again, chasing him down. Dan has great conditioning. Here's, again, good pressure. Good tackle. Inbounds, clock's moving. There they think it for a first down. You don't want to give them anything big here. Good pressure. Look at Dan Cody reach around. I hope we show this again. Here it is. Beats his tackle around the corner. Watch him reach around with the tackle hanging on him and still make a save. That's a great play. And great conditioning in the 4th quarter to keep going that hard. Here comes a blitz. Got to make that first tackle. Getting more pressure. Force him to throw the ball. I thought that should have been intentional grounding. He wasn't outside the tackle box, but here he goes again. Ducked it up inside. So he made a few plays. He's fighting, scratching.
Clock's going here, though.
Yeah, the clock's moving. Again, we're up 10, you know, and we want to be smart and not give them anything easy. the clock is our biggest enemy now, not some yards. Again, good pressure, make him tuck the ball. He makes 3 of us miss him, and he's making plays. Still trying to collapse the pocket, force him to pull the ball down. Good coverage, good sack. Dusty Dvorak.
Really important you give them 3, if any, here instead of the 7.
Absolutely. And again, use the clock. They could keep getting yards, dink it, use the clock. Sack here as the clock's still ticking. Be smart. We're up 10 points. There's only, I don't know what, there's less than 2 minutes.
32. I think it's 132 to go.
So, at the end, it looks like it's closer than it is. We understand the situation. Up a full touchdown, and we're at 10 points now 7. They're only a minute and a half close to running the clock out. Excellent fielding by Travis Wilson of the onside kick, and we were just the first couple of plays we ran the ball because we weren't quite in a situation where we could take a knee, but eventually got to it there on that 3rd down.
Bob, does it feel good to be a big game team? I mean, you haven't won them all, but when you get in games like this, you've won more than not.
We won a good number of them, sure. In these kind of games, ESPN, national TV, college game day there, all of that. Top 10 teams. Our guys do have rose to the occasion in those big, high-profile games, and it's fun to come into an atmosphere like Alabama, at Alabama, and everybody, the crowd against you, and to execute a strong, well-played game. Again, no turnovers, no silly penalties. Very sound in everything that we did, and offensively, defensively, all the way around against a good team. So they'll win a bunch of games this year.
Maybe one of the surprises at Alabama's, they can only be in one poll, but they're not a top 25 club. But nonetheless, Oklahoma does win it. When we come back, Bob will give his final thoughts on that ball game and look ahead to the Fresno game Saturday. Time now for our OG&E Power Play of the Game.
And Ferguson, whose punt last time was blocked, a pass, it's caught at the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and first down Oklahoma in Alabama territory. Michael Thompson made the catch.
And that is this week's OG&E Power Play of the Game. Bob, the Fresno game's coming up. There's the information. You got Tommy Grady's brother starting as a quarterback there. Is Tommy going to be the scout team quarterback?
Oh yeah, he'll be exactly playing his brother all week for us. He does a great job, when he's in there, operating the other team's offense against our defense, and he'll have the same name. So that'll be interesting. His brother's an excellent player. They have an excellent team. It'll be exciting. So we're coming off a good win. We realize we have a lot we can get better at, and you should. As you go through the year, you don't expect in your second game to be perfect. By a long shot, we're not. But we have a lot we can build on. This will help build a lot of character, a lot of confidence in our team. We'll correct mistakes and hopefully be a better team coming into this game.
Real briefly, is this the kind of game you think that you can say this could be a turning point? Everything's positive already, but can you look back in just a few seconds?
It could. We have to get better there, but we, year in and year out we have. Usually we get better as the season goes on, for the most part, and especially from early games. So hopefully that'll happen for us.
All right. Great win, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
For Bob Stoops, I'm Dean Blevins. Thanks for watching.